Recorded. Alrighty. I
This
consent.
meeting is being live streamed.
Live streaming.
Is live. Okay, so catching up with last week's events, we had Sarndel, Krunk, Yasnil traveling along with Greg, Nicholas, and the other one I forget. Not my Xylo. Xylo.
I was about to say we'll just call him old dude.
The what?
We'll just call him old dude.
Old dude. No, he's a little dude. Xylo and Yasnil were in the search for Xylo's brother, Milo, twin brother, and everyone was on their way to the city-state of Warfburg, a industrial place mostly for trade and merchants. Tons of people, big old hub of wares and stores and shopping, trade, all kinds of goods and necessities pass through there, from raw material to refined tools, including arts and crafts. And because of all of that, there's also plentiful of bars, taverns, eateries, diners, and of course, inns and apartments for rents, B&Bs. So it was the surefire way for Xylo to get information to find his brother Milo, and for Sarndel and Krunk to hopefully find a new SIM chip, or to get their current ones wiped before they needed to use them, or in case they might need to give up their needed to use credits, or they didn't want to give up their location, as they were currently ex-cons on the run. What we did not have recorded was that Sarndel found something interesting about Krunk, and he was needed to be left behind in an, I think we got an inn, a room in the tavern that Nikolai was providing for temporary use in hopes of the exchange of a favor. And they encountered a artificial person by the name of Mina. And she officially was named an android, but and she was originally programmed to, or built to, be a sex worker android, but there was a programming in her software that made her a little more sentient than necessary, and she rebelled and became the assistant to one of the android dealers, who then, of course, she made a deal with to allow her to leave the premise for, I think it was a month,
Mhm.
in exchange of a potential favor on his part that he had been trying to get for some time, and she had been negligent to give until now. And she took Crunk to the agreed room that Crunk and Sarndell were going to be staying to doctor him up,
Mhm.
take care of him while she figured out what was actually going on.
Right. His battery was dead.
Yes. His battery was dead and she was charging him. And I think we left off. Yasnel and Xylo, due to Yasnel's penchant for distrusting strangers, they moved on and parted ways and decided to do their search on their own. I think we left off with Sarndell in the tavern with Nikolai after having to agreed to the contract, or at least discussing what the trade would be for the room and how to get their sim chips wiped.
Right.
Okay. So, what do you want to do, Sarndell? Are you going to sit there and continue to talk with Nikolai, or did you want to move on to other?
Well, we didn't let anybody know where we were going, right? We were just out for a walk, and then his battery died.
Right. I think you were headed to. What was I thinking? I don't quite remember exactly where we left off. It's been a month.
Right.
So I think either you were back in the tavern talking to Nikolai, or you were walking somewhere. But the option that Nikolai proposed to you was that you would help with the nearby trade, as there was a local area that was not receiving or sending any caravans whatsoever.
Right.
And that was one of the places that he wanted to continue to make business with. I wanted you
Right.
to at least investigate that area.
Mhm. Yep. Yep.
But he also did tell you that there was a Mr. Universe in the city-state of Warfburg that could help with getting your SIM chip replaced or wiped, but was very fuzzy as to how to get to contacting with this guy, since
Right.
it was more of a he knows you're here and he'll get a hold of you kind of thing.
Right.
So yeah, what you got multiple options. You can go back and check on Crunk. You can, although it hasn't been very long since we left him there, but I don't remember how long. He was there
And just a
for.
reminder, Kronk is the one I escaped jail with.
Yes, Kronk is Ginger's character.
Right. Well, I guess I better get back and check on Kronk.
Okay.
I don't know how long it's going to take for the charge.
Right.
He could be all
Um,
charged up.
Okay.
Or does the girl know how long it would take him to charge?
At that point, when you left her, I don't think she knew much. So, you might have to check on her to see.
Right.
And then, of course, Greg was hanging out with you.
All right. So yeah, we'll go head out.
Okay. Oh, gosh. And today in the city-state of Wharfburg, I believe it was cloudy and slightly warm.
Right.
So,
Cool.
and I think, what was her name? I think it was Betty. Betty heads the bar tavern. She waves as you go on through back into the back area behind the bar, which is where the most of the rooms are kept. Greg slaps you on the shoulder. I still think you have a shot with her, man.
Yeah, well, when I'm not a criminal, maybe.
I hear you. But, you know, some ladies love the bad guys. Just saying. So he's around the corner and go down the hall, just, third door on your left. Kind of knock on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Come in.
Hello.
Hi. Oh, yeah. You guys, I think he's gonna be awake soon. He's not full capacity, but it's enough to get him working again.
Okay.
You are gonna have to get him a battery pack though, because he seems to be running on a backup generator, which can only last maybe 24 hours. But I got him on battery save mode, so it'll probably last for like 36 hours.
All right.
But you seem surprised, so I'm wondering, did you know that he was
No. We only just met each other a couple days ago. And didn't really get the option to talk to him about it. He wasn't very forthcoming about his background.
I see. That's okay. Not everyone is. All us synthetics are just we're just, whatever we are.
Hmm. Well, I guess it's probably not the. Do people really accept them, or is it just are they frowned upon in this world?
Oh yeah, asking out of character.
Yeah, if my character would know.
So it varies from location to location, and it also depends on what type. There are the extremely religious, extremely magic leaning who reject them, don't like them, will not accept them. The closest thing they'll accept are the ones that don't look human at all.
Right.
So like remote control car kind of version. Something that like I don't know if you've seen those yet. In the grocery store that I've been to lately, there's this like really thin bean pole with these little eyes that they're not actual, but like little. The display screen has these eyes that blink. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's like an inventory control thing.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, yeah, that's what they will accept if they do accept anything. But that's the highly religious, highly magic leaning that are against technology, and then
Right.
then there's like inner city Orfberg, Lulhall, they'll accept cyborgs, synthetics, to a degree. The number one rule that the entire all 6 city-states have agreed upon is that there are no 100% synthetics. So here, she is, meaning like you're either in synthetic or you're human with body parts. There is no transferring intelligence into a body. So like you can't be a human and then transfer it into a
full robot body.
Right, exactly. So either you're a human and you have maybe an eye replaced or an arm replaced, or they were built completely as an android, but they're not sentient and you know. She's like allowed in that she is what is it? She falls under the category of android, so she was never really a human.
Okay.
So she's allowed, and like she can feign feelings, but she really doesn't have emotions.
Okay.
Yeah. So in this city of Warfburg, a lot of them are common. You'll see them walking around. Some of them are made to look more synthetic so that people recognize them as being such, and you'll see them walking around maybe doing grocery shopping for someone, kind of like a Uber Eats for someone.
Right.
So it's common here, so it's not a strange occurrence. And then your character, in training, there may have been some droids to battle with, so that way you don't have to, like, you can learn from another human being, but then when you go out to actually test something, it's like a punching bag. You can actually go out at it. So it's not a foreign concept for your character.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah. The shop has some cells for sale, but honestly, they're a little overpriced. And I know he wouldn't like it if I told you that, but he's an ass. So that's yeah. So if you can get him somewhere else, it's probably cheaper.
Do you know a town shop that might sell them at a better price?
You can kind of get, at this point, she doesn't really get around. She's more of a secretary. I think the closest competitor is downtown. But like the only reason he's a competitor is because they're so far away. He's kind of bought out all the others. And everyone's
the market, huh?
Kinda, yeah. He's not a nice guy, but yeah, you can get him like cheaper downtown. Yeah. And then she like sits him up and then reaches around his behind his earlobe, pulls it up and flips the switch and then puts it back down. And you hear kind of little humming, a little bit of sounds of beeps and noises coming up, and then suddenly it's all silent, and then you hear breathing, or the sound of breathing. And at this point, she kind of knocks on your temporal lobe, Ginger, and goes, You there? Wake up.
I would kind of, excuse me, I would stretch and yawn, slowly turn my head and see her, and then kind of jump back. Like, who the crap are you? Where did you come from?
And she jumps back too, alarmed.
Hey, Crown. So your battery died? Hmm.
Did you enjoy your night?
Batteries?
So I had to get you powered up, and here we are.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have batteries.
that was
course you do.
that was my comment as well. I'm surprised that you didn't know that you needed batteries.
Oh, I'm sure he knew. Didn't ya? And she gives you an elbow nudge on the shoulder.
No. No, I didn't know I needed batteries. When did I start needing batteries?
Did you think you were solar powered or something? I mean, you knew you were an android, right?
Looks. No.
And at this point, Sarndel, you notice Greg his face kind of gets a little more solemn, less, cheery. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's got this little oh shit look on his face. He's like, Mina, yeah? What's your protocol for secrets? Keep them unless asked by federal or city state lawmakers or officials. Yeah. Can you leave us, please, Mina? Sure. And she kind of just bounces out and kind of walks out the door and shuts the door. And he goes up to the door and opens it. Go wait for us outside the bar and we'll get to you, okay? Okay. And she walks all the way out to the tavern. He shuts the door and kind of comes in and goes, yeah, I'm and then he sits down next to he walks over and sits down next to Crunk and looks him in the eye. Says, how long were you in that cell?
Um, I don't know. It's you kind of don't pay attention to days when you're sitting there in a cell.
Okay. Understood. And he looks up at you, Sarndel. Did he ever come back unconscious from the exercises?
From me?
No. Did Crunk ever, those training exercises they dragged us through?
Yeah, that's what I mean. You're asking me?
Yeah. Was he ever knocked out?
Do I remember if he was?
You will recall there is one time that he was brought in on a stretcher. He was
I was about to go.
run so ragged that he was on a stretcher when they brought him in.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, there was this one time I thought he was just exhausted. He came in on a stretcher.
I see.
You see what?
Kiddo, I hate to break it to you, but so the investigation that I was doing, I was looking into some deeper level shit. People were going missing, and I was looking in to see where they were going, and they were all ending up at that cell, up at that jail, that prison. And so, of course, as I told you, I went undercover and did some things to get caught and get arrested. I'd only been there for maybe a week or so before you guys showed up. And I was trying to keep tabs on everyone, and some people couldn't make it through the training, and they left in body bags.
Huh.
But some of them were brought back on stretchers, and when I talked to them, they said they never felt better. Old aches that they had when they came in were suddenly gone. And I wasn't able to figure out why. Not like they actually cared about us inmates. And I think I know now.
You
I
think they
think
were replacing them with androids?
I think you were replaced, yeah.
Well,
He,
This is unprecedented. This is absolutely the one thing that all the city states have agreed that is illegal. To our knowledge, that no person can be 100% replaced. There has to be something, your brain has to be intact, or your lungs, or, well, maybe just your brain, but the nervous system, the lymphatic system. You can replace a muscle, you can replace an arm, a leg, a lung, a heart, kidney. You could have 50% of your body replaced. I think the running highest is 85. And that's that was special permission. It was everything below the neck. But no. This, and he's looking Kronk over from head to toe, like inspecting him and checking out the seams and checking out to see if he can tell where all the normal parts are. And he sees the part behind the earlobe where it's just kind of it looks like you know how you have you see people with piercings, and then some of them have them inserted underneath the skin. That's
dermal?
kind of what.
dermal?
Yeah, dermal. Yeah, it's a dermal under. It looks like a dermal behind your ear. So it's like seamless. It's not. You couldn't pick it out if you didn't know where to look. And then yeah, he's checking you out where it's appropriate, but he's pretty
swatted
sure
his
that.
hand like a fly.
Do what?
Swatted his hand, trying to knock him away like a fly. Leave me alone.
I'm just checking. Sorry. I think I wouldn't recommend you going to the doctor and getting checked out anytime soon, because they're supposed to report this kind of stuff. And unfortunately, if this is ever caught, you and whoever did it to you would be terminated. But if that's what they're doing at that prison, I'd hate to know what their reasoning for it is.
So, what about us? How do you tell if we've been
till your battery dies.
That's one way to get checked.
Well, I mean, I guess our battery should have died at the same time, right?
Depends on when you were replaced, I suppose.
Which
Were you
I don't recall him being knocked out anytime.
okay?
He came back pretty bloody and bruised up.
Right, and the blood is one of the easiest telltales. Here, pulls out a pocket knife. Me. Puts his arm out, rolls his sleeve up. Come here, Sardan. Grabs a knife and puts it on the inner side of his forearm and just cuts a gash, and it starts to bleed. Whew, all right. Takes the knife, wipes it on his pant leg, hands it to you, Sarndell.
So, wait, are you saying that Kronk doesn't bleed?
More than likely, you probably won't.
Huh.
If anything comes out, it'll be synthetic fluid that is going to either be green, like a type of antifreeze, or one of the other hydraulic parts, but it's not going to be blood.
Huh.
Might be water, might be a number of things. They've got depends on the parts, and I don't think Mina out there would do anything but spark.
Hmm.
But because she should be a synthetic, but
Well,
if
all
there's
right. Well,
And is
here
it
goes
possible for them
nothing.
to dye the fluids?
And
what?
I said, and is it possible for them to dye the fluids? You know, you never know. If they're going to go that route, they might as well just dye all the fluid and make it look like blood.
Not
Right.
all, yeah, but it depends. I don't think they can. If they do dye it, it's not going to act like blood. But we'll see. You're next, buddy. Trust me.
Oh, that's very sanitary.
Yeah.
Come on. He's waiting for you.
Oh, I said I cut myself already.
Oh, did you? Okay, I didn't hear that. And
Yeah.
and you bleed just like anyone else. And takes the knife from you, hands it
All
over
right.
to
Well,
Kronk. You want to see?
You know what? Screw it. I would take the knife and just run it lightly across my inner arm.
Okay. You see the skin, or at least the wrapping that you understood to be skin, part, and then you see this brownish color kind of come out. It's not quite. It's sort of reddish, but it's more. You might think of it kind of like a light oil type of color. And if you keep cutting, how long did you? How big is the gash?
An inch.
An inch. Okay. And at the very
Just the
edge,
small one.
yeah, at the very edge of that, the very tip, you see a small little drop of green come out. Greg's like, "Yep, that's what I thought." And then after a few seconds, you feel your arm slightly buzz. It starts to vibrate. Kind of like the pins and needles, feeling that we get.
Yeah.
And you see parts of it start to suture up on its own. And suddenly there's kind of a faint line, silver line, where the cut used to be, like a really, really old scar, and then just surface the liquid is just on the surface.
Huh.
I'm just staring at it with my jaw hanging open, like, what the?
Greg puts his hand out, asking for the knife back.
Well, I guess we can't be caught with Kronk.
Uh, honestly, at this point, I don't think anybody else besides the three of us and whoever made him knows. So at the most, maybe 4 of us, maybe 5 if they had an assistant, or maybe there was a whole crew. Shit, I don't know, but I know this: you guys just can't get caught. At least you can't get caught. They'll either take you back to where you were, or some local area will terminate you.
Yeah.
That's the that's I don't know. That I feel like that's something we need to talk to like Loyalists about, or Lowell Hall. Damn city
Right.
states the same name. Lowell Hall should probably know about this. They're the ones that enforce a lot of the laws and bureaucracy and shit.
Right. Well, I mean, weren't we in their jail?
That's
We
what
were
I was
in
just thinking.
we were in Loyalist, yeah, but Lowell Hall should be above. Well, gosh, who do we talk to about this? We could do the council, but I don't think the council is going to be meeting for a year.
No.
Because that whole next year, the 250th celebration is going to be a whole year. You think they would put it off for this?
And what if the real Kronk is still alive?
You think they still have his body?
I mean, you think they've transferred his entire? I mean, he could just have memories of data.
That's potential. And at this
So
point,
you're
Grant,
saying they just made a copy of my brain and put it in this body?
It's possible.
we don't know what they did. At this point, Greg kind of stands up and waves Sarndale for you to follow him. Like, you know what? I think we need drinks. Come on, Sarndale. Let's get some drinks. Croc, you sit here. We'll get you something. All right.
Can he drink?
And he walks out and shuts. Don't worry, buddy. We'll come back for you. And he
I
shuts the
walk
door
out
behind you
of the room all dumbfounded.
and closes the door. You know,
I'm kind of just sitting there staring at the door after them, like, what the heck just happened? What am I? Total disbelief.
right.
I'm at the river. Denial.
Uh-huh.
This is a lot for the dude. So, if we're gonna do speculating, let's do it out at the bar. Give him some time to kind of let it sink in. Besides, I'm hungry.
Hmm.
You guys walk down the hallway. If you're following, are you following?
Yep.
Okay. Goes down the hall and makes the turns the corner. Comes out behind the side of the bar. Sees Betty. Hey, Betty. Hi. How you doing? Can we get 3 drinks and some snacks to go? Sure. Where you headed? Back to the room. Okay. Same thing as before, hon? Absolutely. In fact, make it a double. Alrighty. She wanders off back into the kitchen. Which is actually down the bar.
Mhm.
Disappears behind a door that kind of swivels as she goes. And Greg kind of pulls up a bar stool, sits on it. You know, anything is possible. They could have made a copy of him. Hell, he may not be the only copy. He could just be the one they put back in the cell. He could be the replacement. There might not be another.
What should we do with it?
Well, the poor kid is likely scared and shocked all to hell.
I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
But like, can we risk getting caught with it?
I think we need to have him inspected. We need to know know more about his situation and his status.
Right.
Because if anything, if he's their property, and I hate using that term, but they probably know where he is, which means he knows where you are.
They could be tracking him. That's no good.
But we need to find out. It's
Do you know how
getting
to find out, or do we need to go find a mechanic?
at that point. Your sin chip actually on your ring starts to illuminate and has a little weird of a pattern. It's not a pattern that you see normally. That's not a regular call, but it's definitely somebody contacting you. And Greg kind of looks at it. Oh,
We haven't changed these yet, have we?
Last I understood, we don't need the SIM card to get an answer. It's just make purchases and transfers and stuff. I don't know. Do you think you should answer?
No, but I guess I should.
And suddenly it stops.
Well, I guess that decision was made for us. Whew. All right. We've got to go do this mission. And I don't know if we can do it ourselves. We'll probably have to bring Conk along.
Yeah. Kind of hard to do without our equipment, though. Like I got my boots, I got my favorite pants. I'm comfortable as hell, but it would be nice to have some of my my gear. I'm sure you need your.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless we go ask for a loan, we didn't get out of jail with anything.
Right? Oh, man. Even going undercover is easier than this shit. At least I got the station to back me up, but
Right? Even undercover, we would have, a weapons guy to talk to.
Well, yeah, like I got all those contacts back in Loyalist, but uh they didn't, they were gonna break me out. They were gonna pay my uh fine after, what was it, 6 weeks if they didn't hear back from me. Oh no, 3 days. I had a phone call every week. They didn't hear from me after 3 days of my last phone call.
Ah,
Which still, you get set up at the station and then you go undercover. This is a different story. This is I can't get in contact with them. Not after this. I'd have to report it.
well,
Guess I'm sticking with you, man.
that sounds like such a bad idea.
That's all right. Well, and at that point, you hear the door opens and Betty comes through. She's got plate or a tray in one hand with a drink and a couple of drinks and a couple wrapped up burgers. And then in the other hand, she's got another drink and she sets them all out on the table or the bar counter. And she's like, "Honey, this isn't normal. And I don't know who you've been talking to, but I got a call on my SIM chip asking for you." She looks over at you, Sardell. Seems like he's really wanting to talk to you. And she gives you this looks like a wedding band of a ring. And it's lit and the lights are steady. They're not blinking in any kind of weird fervent fashion. It's kind of steady. She's like, "You give me that back when you're done with that, all right?" And she walks off. Greg kind of looks at you, a little dumbfounded, like,
Uh-huh.
well,
Well, hello?
Greg kind of stands up and walks away, gives you privacy. Yeah, is this is this Sardell?
Depends who's asking.
The one person that you really need to talk to right now.
I don't know what I really need, so
Seems like you've got something that's real good interest to just about everyone. And you also seem to have a bit of a problem with some SIM chips needing some be wiped off. So I can help you out. But you gotta follow these instructions to the T. Otherwise I can't help you. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the universe talking. And you hear kind of a little bit of a giggle in the back because they just enjoy the hell out of that.
ah. Okay. What are the instructions?
Okay. And so he kind of leans in and talks real quiet. All right, so what you gotta do is you're going to, at exactly, let's see, 3:01 p.m. You got to be on the corner of McCaw and Stevenson. There will be a blue police box. You need to get in there, and you got to be the first one in there. You can't let anybody else in there. Pick up the phone and you dial 8549. You got it?
8549.
Yes. And then you hang up and you wait. And then he hangs up. The line is dead. The ring has 0 buttons or lights going on.
Well, either we have a mysterious benefactor, or
Greg,
this could be a trap.
Greg kind of walks over. He's like, "Oh, really? What happened?"
Well, we have someone telling us that we need to follow his instructions if we need help.
Okay.
Gave us a location and a phone number to call.
Interesting.
Exactly 3:01. What time is it now?
You look at your SIM chip, and it says 2:48.
And do we have an idea of how far away this place is?
I ain't never been to that corner. I don't even know where the hell that is. Shit. Can you use Betty's ring? Get a map.
Play around with the ring to see if it brings up a map.
Kind of glitches and blinks, and it's a little fidgety. It's kind of hard to see all the gizmos, and suddenly what you want pops up. It's a map of the streets, and you're better able to get a handle of after messing with it and figuring out all the components and settings. You're able to see the map of the city, and it has a little a light drawn to the tavern where you're standing at, and it's kind of wobbly, but that's because as you can see, it's kind of reorienting itself. There's a lot of technology around, and the grid is causing it to be a little unstable. Yet it's very clear. And as you fiddle it around some more, you massaging the sides of the band, you can get it to zoom in to where you're at. And you see, oh, excuse me, oh, heartburn. Excuse me. About 5 blocks away is the corner that he was talking about. It's 3 blocks one way and then 2 blocks the other way, and you could probably get there in 10 minutes walking.
All right. Well, we've got to get out of here. Looks like it takes just about as much time as we have left.
Oh shit, we better get going then. So Greg kind of takes the drink, chugs it down. Betty, you want to get these to your buddy, and we'll eat on the run.
Yeah.
Betty. Greg puts his hand out for you to give him the ring.
Give him the ring.
Okay. Go on. Get your buddy. We gotta go. Betty! I'm coming. The last thing you hear before you turn the corner.
Okay. So I run over to where Kronk is. Excuse me.
Okay.
Looks like we're on our way out. You got hungry? I got some food here for you.
I would look up at him. Do I even get hungry anymore?
I don't
I mean,
know,
I didn't
man.
really eat
If you
when we
were
were
hungry before,
camping.
once we got out of the jail cell, I'm pretty sure you'll probably still be hungry.
Hmm. Well, I guess I should eat then.
All right, we'll eat on the way. And I lead him out of the room.
He would be, um, quick question. He would be kind of fully charged on backup battery right now, right?
Um, from what actually you don't know because that all happened before you woke up. But if Sardell fills you in, you get that you were given just enough to function for the most part. You'll still need to recharge your entire um, backup at some other point. But Mina figured you have about 24 to 36 hours on your current backup. But you're going to need to be outfitted with an actual battery cell and to be recharged fully at some point.
Okay. So he'll probably be a bit wobbly then.
But as far as how much, like percentage wise, you don't know, and she doesn't know or didn't know.
Well, no, like you know how when a toy has a battery in it and it's about to die, it starts slowing down and stuff.
Oh no, this is more like a cell phone kind of thing.
Okay, so it still has full performance. Okay.
So you'll still have
No,
full
I was
performance.
thinking a little differently.
Yeah, no, it's like a cell phone. You'll have regular functionality, at least at the moment. When you learn more about when he learns more about his status and what's going on, you'll get more details. Okay, so you guys round the corner, or do you follow Kronk?
I'm kind of following him because I'm eating the food and just paying attention to him.
Okay. And when you guys come out, you see Greg kind of talking to Mina, kind of flirting, kind of talking to her. And he's like, "Well, you probably don't really need to come." She's like, "I had a whole month. I negotiated. I'm coming with you." Kind of rolls his eyes like, "Shit." Well, let's get going. You ready? We're gonna have to
Let's
huff it.
go.
All right. You gather that Greg gave Mina or Betty her ring back. And Mina's like, "Where are we going?" "Someplace, somewhere. I don't know. Let's just go." And he walks out the door with her.
All right, so we
So
head
with
to the
her,
intersection.
Do what? You
so
both.
with her secret mode, does she really need to be tagging along?
She's coming with you guys. She made negotiations to come with you at. Oh, sorry. Were you in character?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Okay. Greg kind of looks at you. And he just walks off. Heads towards where you guys are going. All right, and so you guys, I assume you guys find the place with no problem.
Yep, McCaw and Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
Stevenson.
Okay. And actually, someone roll a 1d4.
Uh, er, er. 3.
Okay. You actually get there early. It's actually 2:59 when you get there.
Okay.
And you don't see the blue box, the police box. It's actually not there.
Are we at the right address?
Greg looks at the streets. Stevenson and McCaw, right? Wait, which corner? Did he say which corner? Like, it's an intersection here. Was there supposed to be a specific corner?
I guess it's possible.
And kind of look around. Both of you do a perception check.
Mm, 18.
Ginger?
One sec.
Okay,
I'm fighting.
that's fine.
Oh, God. 8.
Okay. Ginger, you don't notice this, but Sarndell, as you're standing there at the corner waiting, looking around, you see what seems to be coming up out of the ground at an elevator pace, the top of a blue box. And it's it's on the other side of the street that you're on. So you have to go across the crosswalk, but it's slowly making its way up there, kind of trying not to be noticed by everyone around.
You see that?
See what?
It's,
What am I looking for?
it's moving on its own. It's right there. It's coming out of the ground.
Crunk, you turn and see where he's pointing, and you see the same thing. It's now close to halfway up and out of the ground, and most people aren't really paying attention. Some people are so used to it they don't actually care for it.
What is that thing?
It looks like it's where we need to go. Come on. And Greg kind of comes up to the crosswalk. It is 3 o'clock on the dot, and it's almost 100%. And the light changes, allowing you guys to cross. And it's almost like you're gonna miss it, but considering how fast it was or slow it was moving, you're pretty sure you're not gonna miss it. But he did say 3:01, so.
All right. Wow. Run across the street.
All right. And who goes in?
I'm going to go in first.
Okay.
And I'm going to dial the numbers 8549.
Okay. And you pick up the phone, you dial it, and then put it back down?
Yep.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen at first. But then suddenly the floor disappears from underneath you. And you are suddenly on this slide going down and down into who knows. And you're going just, it's scary, but you can kind of you feel safe because it's tube. You're not going to fall out or anything, but at the same time, you don't know how far you're going. Crunk, what's your
I
pass?
was
Do you have a
about to
passive
say,
perception?
say that one more time.
What's your passive perception?
Oh Lord.
I didn't get this information from you guys last time, so I'd like to know myself.
Passive is just your perception plus 10.
Right. Okay.
So my normal is 10, or is that 2, which means that passively I'd be at a 12.
Okay.
My passive perception says 14.
Okay.
It's possible. If you're proficient in it and you have 2 in wisdom, you could have a 14. Or if you have a 4 in
I-
wisdom.
Okay. That's enough. You guys, or not guys, you and Greg, hear this yelp, as Sarndel's kind of is surprised by the floor disappearing from underneath him. Greg kind of goes to open the door and it's locked. Just shaking it. Like, son of a bitch. After a moment, he's shaking the door and it comes loose and he kind of loses his balance, almost falling over. And it's empty.
Wait, is the
Um,
floor back or not?
Yeah, it is. It's just a regular door and it's empty.
Where did he go?
I don't know. I'm gonna try something. If same thing happens, just follow me. Use the same code. Do you know what the code is, right? And Mina pipes up 8549. I remember. Good girl. So he gets in and he does the same thing. He picks up the receiver and dials the number 8549. Puts the receiver back and nothing
Cool.
happens.
Mhm.
He comes out. I don't know what happened. It's not. And then, yeah, as you're falling, Sarndel, after a good, few seconds, you hit, you come out, and it slows down. You can feel it kind of get a little more flat. So it's not you're going as fast as you were before. And then you come out to the end, and it's just like this big old pillowy, cushiony in front of you.
Cool.
And as you look up around the room in this big old cushion, this what kind of looks like what we would say like a 1970s cushion. It's kind of this mustardy yellow with this ornate organic like flowery design on it with like blues and purples and stuff and greens. Not really the most tasteful of combinations. There's this room that looks very seamless, but you can tell you're in some kind of a like trailer or a cargo something. It's definitely not stationary. There's seams, there's gaps, and there's a little bit of noise out, but you can't really tell what it sounds like. There is what looks like a kind of a kitchenette to the left. And it's a long way, so you're looking down the length of it. And then to the right is kind of where you think maybe there might be a bedroom, bathrooms, or that. But in front of you, at the far end, is almost wall-to-wall monitors and televisions. Almost going up to the ceiling, but it's like 3-4 monitors high. And then 4 to 5 monitors wide with the 2 of them kind of turned in, and different sizes, different shapes. Just some of them are different colors. Some of them are you can kind of see that some of them are like monitors, surveillance cams. There's probably a television show or two going on, Netflix kind of thing style.
Oh, okay.
And there's this person in this chair, in this ergonomically correct chair, or at least you assume that it is because the chair is like moving back and forth and up and down and bouncing. You can't see but above it, but there's feet below. And it's not on wheels. It doesn't have 4 legs. It's just got the one pole, and you see that like there's like a little bit of a track that's at a semicircle. You kind of configure that the chair moves back and forth in that track. And this voice pipe up from behind it. Hi, welcome. Come on, come on. And then the chair kind of rotates, and you see this very thin, kind of androgynous person with short hair and jeans with folded up cuffs on the bottom, kind of sneakers, red, and what would be like considered a wife beater t-shirt, and then flannel on top. And they have a headband on, but it's a you recognize it's one of those monitor headbands, and it's probably connected to a Wi-Fi or several. And he's got gloves. Well, they look like gloves. But if assuming you get up and you walk towards him,
Yeah.
get a closer inspection, he's wearing or they are wearing like a type of exoskeleton on each of their hand. There's a bunch of lights and buttons and on it, and you can only assume what they are able to do with those two. But you're just sitting there with the hands on the chair and just kind of with earphones on too, of course. A headset. Hi, I'm Universe. How are you?
Oh, hi. You were the one that called.
Yes. So good to meet you. So good to meet you. I thought there was gonna be more of you, but I guess
They're
just the
still
one is fine.
outside.
Oh, I always try to be as specific as possible, but I always miss at least one detail. All 4 of you should have been in that box. It's only open for a little while, and then I have to close it. Just safety sake, secrecy. You know what I mean.
Right. Yeah.
So, I guess I'll have to tell you, and then you can tell your counterparts. Although you probably should have had Mina with you. That would have been good.
Mina?
Mina, the android, she's a security. She's an issue. She's a problem. You're probably gonna have to lose her. Because she's more likely she's not a mole, but she's a what's it called? What do they call it? Oh my goodness. She's an issue. She's a security leak. She's a mole. She could be a mole. She could be a potential mole. But she's
Right.
not.
I'm gonna mute myself for a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Well, sure.
But that dude that you got, he's one of a kind. He's unique. I've been watching him since you guys jeez. Since you guys got here. What? Maybe 5, 6 hours ago? I noticed him. He was unique. He showed up on my radar, and he turns around or whips around, and he pulls up a screen. He's like, "Come here, come closer." And you see his arm poking out from behind the side of the chair, and pulls up on the monitor screen to the left of him, and it shows the area where you guys came in, the caravan, the carriage that you came with Nikolai, and then where you parked and where the area where you guys diverged from Yanasil and Xylo. And it's not in color. It's kind of a hyper color. Everyone or everything is kind of purplish. And then there are some other things that show up pink and green. And you notice there are some things on your person that turn pink and some that are green. And he's like, this color, this one right here, he taps and shows the pink. That's the magic. That's your essence. And you can tell there's like a faint line that's around you, and it's kind of like an aura shape, but it's also like in your body. It's a very light layer. And you can kind of guess it's probably due to your patron and whatnot. Charlie, don't you go under there. Sorry, he just went underneath my desk, and his leg is. He tends to drag things with it, and if he dragged a cord, I was gonna be super upset. Anyways, this right here, he taps on the green. It's kind of a neon green, but it also fades to like a dark forest green in some areas. This is computer, and you can see it lights up on like where your sim disk is and where the others sim disks are, and you kind of see a few extra things on Nikolai that you didn't notice before, but no reason to be alarmed. Just everything was underneath his clothes and his cuffs and whatnot, and then you see somebody who's completely covered in pink and green, and that can only be one person, and that's Krunk. He's one of a kind. I have not seen that much color camouflage on anybody. Like, you can see, and he fast forwards the imagery as you guys are like talking and conversing, and all the speed up movements of everyone walking around, pacing and whatnot, and then goes out to the street, and he slows it down, and you see figures going past. There are some people who look just like Nikolai, where they have mostly little specks of green here and there underneath their clothes, necklace, earrings, etc., with hints of pink. And then you see other people who are just completely covered in pink with hints of green. But you don't see anybody that's nearly as covered as Kronk. Even the androids that go by, which are mostly green, and no pink, they do not match Kronk's wave pattern, as you were.
Right.
So you see, he's special. He caught my eye, and I've been watching you guys since. And yeah, you don't know what you've got. It seems like he doesn't know what he is. So you kind of, man, I wish you all had been in there. Look, he needs a diagnosis. I need to check him. I'm the only one who's expert enough to check him. I'm the only one who can analyze, and I can figure it out. And I will not ask a thing except for, well, I might ask a favor eventually, but yeah. So you guys need me, and I'm the only one who knows anything and everything that's going on in this city or in the other cities. I mean, I have connections in Auroran and yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, Gotta get everybody in here, but I guess lead the way.
Well, see, okay. I can't let you in at the same location. At least not twice in the same 24-hour period. So, unless you're willing to travel like to the other side of the town, you're gonna have to wait. And because, security, safety, you know, it's a thing. Um, and at this point you get like he's super paranoid, or they're super
Mhm.
paranoid about anything and everything. Like you're definitely going to be calling on them again and again for information, but of course that's going to be at a cost, and it's time is going to be the cost. You can't just call upon them anytime you want. In fact, you don't know if you can call upon them anytime you want, because you don't know how to contact him.
Right.
So yeah, so what I need to do, I need him down here. I need him down here. I need to look at him. I need to inspect him. I need to go over all the little bits and pieces. But in the meantime, you guys need SIM cards. So here, and he gets up kind of slowly. He doesn't get up very often. But when he's up, he's running around. So see, it's over here. It's over here. He goes over to a bunch of cabinets and he kind of opens them, drawers. No, it's over here. It's got to be over here. I didn't know. And then he goes over to this area that looks like a workbench, with a 3D printer and some other tools. Looks like a welder, maybe a soldering iron. I thought it was over here, and he pulls open a drawer, and then he pulls up another drawer, and oh wait, no, and then he goes back to the desk where he was sitting at, and he opens up this other this cabinet underneath the desk, and pulls out this box. There it is. Here it is. Opens up the box, and there's 4 SIM chips, and he pulls out 2 of them. He's like, here, this is for you, and this is for the big guy.
All right. So, how are they gonna get down here?
Oh, I'll contact you. I'll let you know. But it'll be a while, so make yourselves comfortable. Don't leave the city for too long, because it might be a day and a half. I'll contact you. And wait, did you want? And these little cards are very, very tiny, and you're not sure if you really should be holding on to them. In fact, you might even lose them. You're afraid you might lose
Okay.
them.
Do I know how to insert one into my device?
Probably not.
Uh, do you know how to insert this thing in my device?
Oh yeah, sure, I can do that. And he grabs them and like goes to reach and take them away from you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I wish it like made a sound when you did that, but anyways. So he grabs the 2 SIM cards from you. He's like, what's your SIM?
That
Gimme.
was a ring, if I remember correctly.
Right. So he puts out his hand and he's like, give me your SIM.
All right. I hand it to him.
He's like, okay. He takes the ring and he gets the tools out that are from the same cabinet, and he goes to town on it, and he starts pulling it apart, and you're probably a little uncomfortable watching him go, knowing that he's an expert at what he's doing, but at the same time, you've never seen your ring dismantled before. So, but he works away. He finds the spot. He pulls out the old one. He stuffs in the new one, and then he puts it all back together and hands it to you. Here you go.
All right.
Now the big
Thanks.
guy. What does he have? I'm gonna have to give him a new one. What does he carry?
I don't know.
And at this point, you're not sure whether he's talking about Greg or Kronk.
Nope, I'm not.
All right, well, I'll have to give him a
Oh.
new holder. What do I have anything? And he starts rummaging around again, looking for something. Like, here we go. And he like pulls out this earring. Can he wear this?
Sure.
You're just gonna roll with it.
Yep.
Okay. He's like, all right, cool. He starts pulling it apart and hitting the buttons and going through, and it's meticulous. There's these little parts, these tiny little things, and the earring is a hoop just like your ring, so it's big enough to be able to have the SIM chip inserted, but you just kind of it's kind of crazy how these small ornaments house such small little pieces.
Right.
And he gets it, inserted, and he's got this new SIM chip, and he gives you the earring, and it's a fairly decent gold hoop earring that you can just adorn. So there. Okay. There you go. Now, to get out of here, I'm gonna have to blindfold you.
Aha.
But you'll be coming in the same way. Just I have to, make it secret.
Aha. Okay.
And oh wait. And he turns to the they turn to the computer screens or monitors, and he's like, oh shoot, I gotta do this. Hang on. And he starts typing on the desk, and there's no keyboard in sight. But he just like hammering away at the desk, and then he moves his hands around in circles, and suddenly there's these two monitors, and they look like security cameras, and they're watching an area, and they suddenly bleep, and the image went from, like, one of them was a crossroads where it had 3 people crossing, and now suddenly it's a busy crossroad, and you can't see past, you can't make the, see the forest for the trees, however that phrase goes. There's a ton of people there. And then
Right.
another one has the same image where it's but busy, but then suddenly bleep, and it's empty. Okay. All right. Well, we could go, and then he starts having a conversation with himself, and like, well,
With
know what?
themselves.
do what?
You said themselves, plural. I was asking. I'm wondering if he had multiple personalities.
You don't know. It's like, okay. All right. This is going to be a little weird. How good are your reflexes?
Pretty good, I guess.
Okay. That's enough. And he gets up and he starts turning around and pushing you towards this door. That's the side of the tube that you came down from. He opens the door, and it kind of looks like the inside of the telephone booth that you were in, but at the same time, it looks kind of like a Like it could also be the inside of a outhouse.
Right?
You know, the weird patterns of the walls and whatnot. It's like, all right, well, you won't see anything anyway, so I'll contact you. And he shuts the door. And then you hear this going on. And then suddenly you get this weird sensation. And it's you're gonna have to roll for a constitution save.
Okay. Mhm. 14.
All right. Roll for a dex save
No.
with a disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Oh. 13.
Okay. You feel you feel this tightness, this air is getting pressurized around you, and suddenly you launch up, straight up, and let's see.
What?
And it's such a weird force and weird push on your stomach and your insides, and it's hard to breathe. So much so that you get sick. And because of that, when you get shot out from underneath the ground, ahead of you, a man cover flies open, and falls off onto the concrete. And because of such amount pushed you that you forget to, you're not concentrating on landing. So you kind of like, you fall upwards onto the concrete as you shoot out of the ground.
Oh.
And you might even like get a little sick
Oh.
on the concrete.
Yeah. Ah. Oh, God. What? Oh.
Ginger, you see moments before, you hear this rumble underneath the ground. And down the street a little bit, next to, see, where would it be? It would be close to the side of the street. There's this manhole covering, and it starts to shake and starts to rumble. And then suddenly it flies up and lands on its back, and then you see Sarndel come shooting out and then just falling on his backside onto the concrete and then puking on the side.
Ugh. Oh.
That looked like fun.
Yeah. So much fun. Oh.
Mina comes over. Me next.
And then I hand the earring over to Greg. Here's another SIM card.
And he takes it. Awesome. This is awesome. And he's like, wait a minute. This isn't a ring.
Well, we didn't have any other rings.
Shit. You mean I have to go get a piercing now? You know how this looks, right? And he looks at you with his one good eye.
How what looks?
This, and he points up to his glazed over, whitened eye with the scar across it, which he has not gotten a new patch to cover since leaving the jail.
Sure, but the A ring wouldn't have hidden that either.
No, idiot. I look like a pirate. Give me an earring. It might as well get me a parrot to go with it.
Well, you know, it'll be harder to recognize you.
Whatever.
That could be next.
He just kind of shoves it on the top of his ear loosely, kind of just letting it, kind of hang over. He's like, God damn it.
You could stick it on the insides of your nostrils and make it look like a nose piercing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's not designed for that, but yeah. Kind of slaps you on the back, Kronk. So what did he tell you?
Well, he says that he needs Kronk down there, but he can only pick us up once every 24 hours due to safety reasons.
Really?
So to come back here tomorrow at the same time.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess we got 24 hours to kill.
Well, back to the end, I guess.
Yeah. We can go back. Mina's like, you need to be charged up again anyways. Looking over at you,
Oh,
Kronk.
That just
we should
sounds
go
weird.
look for a new battery so that we're not working on the backup battery.
We could do that. I know where there's a battery. Greg's like, okay, lead the way.
How do you even replace my battery?
It's okay, we'll find out. And she just starts walking down the street. Not very fast, but she's like, we're going. This is where we're going.
Right. Well, I follow her.
Do you even know where you're going? Walks
Yeah.
after her.
Yeah, of course I do. Follow me. And Greg kind of stops, pulls the man cover over halfway, mostly across the thing, and just kind of because it would require flipping it over to actually cover it completely, and he's just whatever. And then yeah, so you guys are making it way downtown.
Downtown.
Where you meet the
I'm kind of
competitor.
glad that you said it that way.
To what?
I said I'm kind of glad he said it that way, because at first in my head was making my way downtown.
Faces past, stroll it, whatever. Yeah.
Mhm.
So you head on. It takes about walking. It's are you gonna walk? Is that we're following her?
I
Yeah.
think we have to walk.
Okay. Kinda at this point, yeah. So
We could
anyways.
make wheels to put on our shoes so we can roll downtown.
Mhm.
So it takes you better part of a half hour's walk. So it's several miles away. And you get to this this shop that looks kind of like what the shop where you met Mina, but it's not nearly as new, or the upkeep is kind of not so great.
Big lots to Target.
The what?
It's big lots to Target.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, the display isn't as clean. There are a lot more other things besides just batteries being sold there. There are a few androids that are kind of propped up that are not moving.
It's a Radio Shack.
Kind of. Yeah, he sells. Oh, this person sells a lot of stuff. And Mina comes in, goes, Drew, Drew, Drew. All right, I'm coming. And you see this kind of a short, gnomish looking person, coming out, but he's definitely not gnome. It's just a really short humanoid.
Dwarf.
Do what?
A dwarf. A little person.
It's a little person.
A little person. A gnome.
And they come out and they're like, what can I do Mina, what are you doing here? You're a little far from your store. He's not coming in and no, not like that. I'm here for these guys. I'm an escort now. He's like, Mina, that's not what. Never mind. Okay. What can I do for you folks?
I'm just looking around the shop like lost.
We need a battery.
Okay, what kind of battery? I got all kinds of batteries for all kinds of things.
For this gentleman right here.
You, sir? What battery does he need? Like what's his model? What's his year? What's his serial? Do you have a serial number on him?
I'm looking just confused and
Mina kind
shrug
of
my
leans,
shoulders.
Mina kind of leans over and not really whispering, but low talk. He doesn't have a serial number. But he could probably use mine. Well, no serial number, you say? Huh. And you can kind of see the wheels turning in the back, inside his head. He's kind of thinking like, there's not really an android that doesn't have a serial number. And he's looking at you and Greg like, is this a legit purchase? So where did you get this guy?
We found him.
And Greg's like, we just need a battery. We don't really need to converse. If you get my drift. You're asking a lot of questions there, buddy. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. If Mina says you just need a battery that's like hers, then I'm sure it's probably a legit purchase. Yeah, it's not anything off the black market or anything. I mean, it's like there's no such thing as a black market. She's like, yes, Mina, yes, I know. He just kind of walks over to a shelf and he's like, let's see. And you see like there's all these boxes and all these different sizes and there's numbers, serial numbers, types, models, brands. It's the equivalent of buying a oil filter
Watch battery.
and a watch battery. So he's like, all right, well, he pulls two out. And he turns around and sets them on the counter, which is his height. And it's kind of short, but these are the two that I recommend for a model similar to Mina. This one is specifically for Mina, and he pushes it forwards. And this is going to be about this is going to run you 200 megabytes. This will last you at least 4 weeks. It's not rechargeable. You will need to get another one, but you are capable of doing most regular functions with a few extras. Greg kind of perks up and says, "What do you mean extras?" Like if you need him to do some long distance things, like, and he's trying to skirt what Mina what she was programmed for. But you get like, regular use kind of activities for that kind of a battery. And this is our performance version. This one's going to cost you about 500 megabytes.
Well, how much money do we have? We probably don't have a whole lot, do we?
Greg kind of looks at you like, we didn't
think about money.
see what. Do you have an ATM around here somewhere? Greg pipes up. Oh, yeah, of course, sure. Right over in the corner there. And he kind of walks over there and ATM is an outdated name because there will be no cash being retrieved. But he takes the SIM card that you gave him, the earring, and he puts it up to the reader. And either of you follow him?
No, just stay here with the sales guy.
Okay. Kronk?
I pick like an expensive looking item.
Okay, so you're distracted.
'Cause, I'm still wandering around the shop looking at all the pieces. Like, what the crap?
You're like, this is all. I have to take care of this stuff now.
Well, that and some pieces you're like, where does this go?
What's this used for? Okay, so you don't see what's going on, and he kind of comes back and he claps you on the shoulder, Sarndel, and he whispers in your ear. Looks like we have in the range of. I wish I could find my. Here we go. Looks like we have about. Yeah, 2 gigabytes. Or at least that's what's on mine.
All right.
Which, with some quick math, 2 gigabytes would be about 2,000 megabytes.
Right. Well, we could get him the performance battery.
Ah, yes, that'd be a good choice. Very good choice. This thing can last up to 6 months with minimal use, 4 months with moderate use, and then, of course, if you're feeling a little adventurous, you could probably do bodyguard mode for 24 hours for 3 weeks. But I wouldn't recommend that.
Bodyguard mode?
Yes, bodyguard mode. Bodyguard mode. He would then be capable of protecting you, keeping a vigilant eye out on anyone surveillancing, sorry, the surrounding area constantly 24/7, and being able to access many different types of fighting styles from or traditional martial arts to rough and tumble boxing or MMA and he could do all of that for a full 3 weeks. I
Aha.
think it's like 3 weeks.
Okie dokie. Well, let's just get that then.
Greg's like, why don't we get two? I'll get one and you get the other.
Sure. I mean, he'll probably would need that more himself. Like, he should be responsible for buying his own shit eventually.
Yeah, but didn't the guy just give you 2 sim chips?
Sure. But that's money for us to get what we need, not
Well, how's he gonna get it?
hey, he'll probably get money from the guy too. He wants him down there.
And at this point, Ginger, you see your hand, your glove, the back of your glove kind of light up.
I almost dropped the expensive thing, setting it back on the shelf, and walk over to oh crap. I didn't forget Greg. I think you said it was his name.
Yeah.
There's Greg
Yeah,
and
Greg.
Sarndell.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna use him first. I
Okay.
walk over to both of them, like holding out my hand. It's because it's flashing.
Mm-hmm.
Should I answer it?
It's just lit up. It's not flashing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying light up.
No, it's acting like there was you received a file, not a phone call.
Ooh. Should I open it? Because what if they
Greg
find
kind
us
of
because of that?
Greg kind of looks at you going, it's a risk, but I mean, you could see what it is. Or maybe hold on to it until we see that other guy.
I think I'm gonna hold off on opening it.
Okay. Sounds good. How about this? I'll buy it. And Sarn, you hold your shit. He goes up to the counter. He's like, I'll take one of each. Like, that's a sensible purchase. All right. Pushes him forward. And it's like, right over here, sir. And there's this box with the screen, glowing blue screen. And Greg puts his earring on the top. And it's a fine purchase. Thank you. Have a good day, sirs. Mina, get back to your shop before you get me in trouble again. That wasn't your fault. I don't care. And he walks off.
All right. So lay low
Greg,
until tomorrow, I guess.
pretty much. Greg kind of walks out the door, holds the door for everyone. It jingles the bell, kind of doo-doo, as you
Oh, I
guys
was thinking
leave.
actual sleigh bells.
No. It's not that old of a store.
And there's several stores around here that have a bell in the door anyway.
There are some, but this is kind of more of a modern new store. It's you open the door and it's like doo-doo. Unlike the store that you kind of passed out in where the doors went whoosh on their own and whoosh. But so yeah, Greg is kind of like, I'm kind of curious about that what you received. But I suppose we could wait. What are we gonna do in the meantime? Because we now have new SIM cards. We can make purchases without being detected.
Well, we all have gear that we need to replace, so that's a good place to start.
Mm. Right. And you
But
didn't.
but they got new SIM cards, or you all got new SIM cards.
This is true. But he might have a new one for you too. We just didn't all go through the tunnel or go through the phone booth. Which, by the way, how did you get there?
Get to the phone booth?
Sarn, yeah, how'd you get to like you shut the door and then we heard you yell and then you were gone.
Oh, there was a hole in the floor, and I went falling down a slide. It ended up in a little laboratory.
Crazy.
It was crazy. Yep. That's the perfect way to say it.
But you didn't fall through.
No, I did the numbers and I guess it's just a 60-second window.
That's what he
That's-
said.
Dang.
The code
Paranoid.
could only be used once every 24 hours to ensure safety.
That is one schizophrenic dude.
Uh-huh.
Safety from what?
Do what?
I said safety from what? People?
Oh, the same people we're afraid of. He probably knows a thing or two, and we're trying to stay hidden. And he's probably trying to stay hidden too. He's just, not new at it.
I was about to say he seems a little better at it.
So, well, we could lay low, or we could have some fun. I got extra gig and 3 megabytes. I ain't had that much credits in over a month. You guys want to go to a bar or something, a club?
Oh,
Yes.
man. It has been such a day. But I really don't want to get caught. I mean, it's...
Well, nobody knows who we are here, unless and he looks at you with kind of a smirk and a knowing eye, like what you've been up to.
Craziness.
I mean, you all can go out. I'm supposed to recharge anyway.
All right. We'll call it a night. And so you guys all make it back to the same tavern that Nikolai brought you to. Say hi to Betty as you come in, and she assures you your room is still there. It's going to be available until you tell her you don't need it anymore. You guys go in, and there's it's kind of a small room because it's free. There's a bunk bed and another cot. And of course, Mina's like, I'll just, I don't sleep. Charge my phone here, it's dying. And you wake up the next day, roughly around 11 o'clock. And is there anything you guys want to do before you get back to your rendezvous?
No. Move
I
on.
was about to say there's not a whole lot that I can do.
Okay. Ginger, you noticed over the last 12 hours, probably less than that, but that your body seems to function exactly the way you expect it to. Um, you actually burned the food that you ate before, and you actually do need to go to the bathroom to relieve it. You kind of, because you cut yourself, you kind of notice a little bit of the same brownish color, brownish red color that your stool is. So it's, you kind of get that that's kind of where things are kind of getting mixed in together, but you don't think about it too much because it's a little weird. Breathing is fine. You try to hold your breath, and you can't hold it any longer than you used to. So you're,
I was
and
about to say, is this going to be one of the you held your breath a little too long, passed out situations?
Eh,
I mean, you probably would pass out, but more like you go down on standby in a way. But for you, it feels like you passed out. Um, there are a few changes, a few things you've noticed that are slightly different that you probably wouldn't have noticed before. Um, you, just like the other cellmates who claimed to feel better than ever, you noticed a few areas where you used to have a few bones that would pop and um, right themselves. You can't do that anymore. Like you could used to pop your knuckles, or maybe a rib cage, or not a rib cage, a rib or a collarbone or something. Neck. You used to pop a few things because of your extensive training, but not anymore. Um, just not an issue now. Um, you're not. You don't feel yourself get nearly as tired um, when it comes to lying down. You do feel a little slow, um, like it is time to sleep, but um, it's confusing. You're not sure if it's because you expect to fall asleep, or if there's some mechanic inside you saying, "Hey, it's sleep time," or if it's your battery that's going low. But when you wake up the next day or power on, you're like, I feel great. I feel fine. I don't feel any different. Um, so even if it's not necessary for you to sleep, you figure it's probably good to um, be on standby and preserve as much as your battery as possible, and not be, you kind of figured that's what the 24-hour bodyguard is, where there is no standby time. So it would be good. It would behoove you to have a few hours of the day where you're not just completely conscious and operational. But it's going to take some time to figure out all the odds and ends of this new
Intricacies.
form. Yeah, all the intricacies of this new body, that or this new existence. But so far it's not too different. But then again, um, as you recall, when you were camping, you were still able to bend wind. You were still able to work with the elements, which is really confusing. Um, so you guys make your way out. Greg, of course, takes advantage of as much free stuff as he can with the drinks and the food. And if Betty gets irritated and she wants, him to pay for anything, he's more than welcome, more than happy to, because he's got cash. He's got money. um,
Cash money.
money, money, money. So yeah. And so you guys make your way to the same corner.
Yep.
All right, you get there. It is 3 o'clock. Mina's right there. Everybody in! She kind of like pushes. She's all excited.
Yep. Yes, everybody, and
She
And it's a
corral-
little. Do what?
she corrals us all in.
She corrals everyone and she's excited. She wants to go for a ride. She wants to do what she saw Sarndell do the day before. um, and yeah, it's a little tight. It's a little. You're not. It's kind of hard to imagine that you're going to be going down the same tunnel. But yeah, Sarndell, you pick up the receiver, you dial in the same code, and you wait, and the floor is gone, and y'all are sliding down. Everyone kind of organically crumbles, and everyone's, some people are in front, some people are in back, and all kind of sliding down this big old group. And Mina's having a good old time. Whee! And Greg's not having as much of a time. He's like, and everybody comes flomping down onto the same cushion, yellow stained fabric. And the same Hermes. No. Sorry, guys. My dog is trying to. These are wires, and you are in the. No. Back up. Go lay down. You're probably going to knock over my tripod, aren't you? Lay down. Thank
He
you.
just
Good
wants to be
boy.
decorated like the Christmas tree.
No, he wants in my lap. Anyways. So, same setup. Walls are all kind of almost a tattered white, tannish, not quite bleach. Same everything. Nothing's really changed over the last 24 hours for you, Sarndell. Same dude is in the chair and kind of swivels around, turns around, and it's like, "Hello, everybody. How are you all? It's good to finally meet you all in person." And he gets up and he kind of straightens his back a little bit. Kind of probably should exercise a little bit more, but anyways, he gets up and he starts walking over, and and he comes over to you, Kronk. It's like, "So you are the masterpiece. Well, let's have a look at you." And he kind of reaches down to help you stand up. Do you take it?
I'd rather go on the slide again.
You want to go on the slide again?
Yes, let's go meet it. No.
No. That's funny. Come on, get up. And he kind of pulls you up and rushes you up and is like, "Let me get a look at you. Okay. I'm gonna need the chair." And he kind of rushes over to the wall and he pulls open this panel, and then he like hits a button, puts his hand on a scanner, and then flicks a lever afterwards after it scans, and the floor next to the cushion, not too far off, opens up, and then there's this like dentist chair looking thing that rises up from underneath, and the floor kind of gives away enough for it to come up, and then kind of levels out. And he's like, come on, have a seat. What do you do?
In a dentist chair?
That's what it looks like. It's a chair, and then there's like an arm that reaches up, and then there's like this magnifying glass, and then there's another one that comes out back, and there's like a light that shines out from there.
I'm assuming they do have dentists, and that's what their normal chair would look like.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I was like, in a dentist chair.
Oh, okay. He's like, I mean, you get what you it was on sale. At an auction. I kind of, come on. And he goes and grabs your arm and kind of, they pull you over. He's like, just sit down, just relax. I'm not going to probe or anything. You're fine. Trust me. And he kind of like has you sit down, get you all comfy. Do you want a blanket? Do you want a pillow? Do you want a neck warmer?
No thanks.
Okay, well, anyways, let's get you up there. And then he like kind of pushes a lever and you kind of jostle up, kind of like a hair
The
stylist.
salon chair when you're pumping it
Yeah,
up.
as he's pumping it up. So it's kind of awkward with the little bouncing and stuff. And so he goes to work. He starts examining things. He's got the magnifying glass in your eye and the lights, and it's all bright, but it's not quite painful. It's just you can't see anything. Um, and he's looking in your earlobe and he's moving it around, and he touches the thing in behind your ear, but he doesn't move it, and they tussle your hair, and then he looks at the hairline, and then he looks, in your skin, and looks on your collarbone, and yeah, okay. And he moves down. He moves the light from your face, so you're no longer blind. One thing you do notice is that you don't have that
The color changing retina burn.
yeah, you don't have the retina burn anymore. You don't have the spots in your eyes anymore. It just you have a moment where you have to refocus, and that's it.
Like a camera lens.
Exactly. And he goes down to your hand and he kind of checks it out, and then he kind of lifts it up and moves it around and pulls out his hand, his glove. He puts it on top of yours and he pushes a few buttons, and then projector comes up, and it's flat screened on your angle, Crunk, so you can kind of make out a few different colors and stuff, but you can't really see it. But at this point, I'm assuming Sarndell, you got up. Greg has definitely gotten up, and he's kind of watching from a side, and you see on the screen that's projected up in front of Universe, and it's almost kind of like an X-ray skeletal for bones, but there are a bunch of wires and electrical signals being pumped through, and you can see something that looks kind of like a fluid, some very, very tiny tubes, and the whole thing is just intricate. It is so elaborate. You can see something that sort of looks like a bone structure, that's just, rod, and then all these little other joints and stuff of what could be a skeletal bone remains, but then there's it's all kinds of lights and things going around, and then there's a little thing in there that's moving. Tiny, tiny little things that are moving. He's like, oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. And then he goes over around to the other side, 180 on the other side, starts looking around in your shoulder, the back shoulder blade, and he's like, ah, that's it. And he puts his finger on this really small button, and it's a little odd. It's also like another dermis, but it's wide and it's square, and he kind of puts his finger on it, and then his other hand, which by now you can kind of see that the two glove exoskeletons on his hands are kind of like Bluetooth.
Microcomputers.
Yeah, totally microcomputers. And they're wirelessly connected. And so he touches it, and you see what looks like a reader. And he's like, "Yep, that's what I thought." And you can kind of see it looks like a battery. It's looks like it's the percentage is 14%, and then there's an empty one next to it. He's like, all right. this is cool. He's like, did you guys happen to, you guys went and bought another battery for him, right? Right? And Greg's like,
We
yeah.
bought a battery.
Chris, you muted yourself?
I guess if you change the apps, it mutes you automatically.
If you what? Change apps?
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
you accidentally swipe too far, or
I'm trying to turn off the automatic mute, but I sorry guys.
No worries.
Anyways, yeah, Greg is like, oh yeah, and he pulls out the 2 batteries and he brings them over, and Universe kind of looks at it, goes, I'll get this one, and he takes the sports one, and Greg's like, you don't need this one? It's like, that's not gonna, he'll blow through that in the next 30 minutes. But you need a stronger battery than this one.
Oh.
Like, okay, what kind of battery? Don't worry. It looks like you need a custom battery, honestly.
Okay.
And he's looking at you, Krunk. You need because the battery you got is good. It's good. It's actually really good. It's really good. And you have room for another one, which is even better. But they don't make batteries for you, I'm afraid. So
where do we?
well, I could probably make one, but I would have to keep you overnight. I have to open you up. I have to look at your current battery.
Oh, okay. And you say no one else makes this?
Not for you. You could burn through a regular battery really quickly.
The rest of us gonna stay here too?
No.
Or do they need to go?
I mean, it won't take long. Maybe an hour. But I might have to shut you down.
But
Which
you
you
just
won't
said
even notice.
overnight.
No, it'll take me overnight to make it. I have to examine you.
Oh, I thought you meant you had to keep me overnight for everything.
Oh no,
That's why I
no.
was like, do they need to go?
No. I just need to look at it, get some specs, get some blueprints, and then the hard work comes. Then I got to get the parts. And that's going to be a while. So, you okay with that? And he looks at you.
I look back at Sarndell like, I guess I have to.
If you don't feel safe, we can stay. I don't care what he says.
Greg's like, I don't matter to me.
Well, oh, if he's, I'm wondering how everyone would be getting back out or back in.
You're the same way you came in, same way you went out.
Not through the sewer hole again.
You, well, you make it difficult. All right.
But how's this going to work if you can only pick them up once a day?
Hmm?
Can you send multiple people out more than once a day?
I can send anybody out anytime. The security is keeping very few people from coming in.
Well, since you can send anyone out at any point in time, I guess they can go to whatever while you're needing to do your inspection.
It's up to you guys. Won't be but maybe an hour. Greg's like, whatever. He sits down on the cushion where Mina is, and I guess I'll wait. But I want to go up to the sewer.
Oh God. That
Can
made
you
me
give them
so
different
sick
ride homes?
anymore. I don't want to go.
To what?
That made me sick the last time. I don't want to go.
Can you give those two different rides home?
Oh, just it's okay. There's another way out of here. It's slower, but yeah, I can. Yeah, but
Let me guess, the stairs?
he laughs, or they laugh. Not quite, but yeah, it's slow.
Well, I'm still laying in the chair.
Yeah,
You need a
I guess we leave.
you need a battery. It just be an hour. Just hang tight. And he goes off or they go off and they open the panel again that they had before and press a couple more buttons, and out comes a few and these are not androids. These are definitely robots. These are kind of rude and crude, but like early versions of what Mina was. And they come out and they ask if you want something to drink, you want something to eat, what can they do to make you comfortable. And meanwhile, he presses a few other buttons. And Ginger, this is probably gonna upset you, but they're lounging in that dentist chair. There's a couple of straps that go around your torso, waist, legs, arms, and suddenly you are flipped like a pancake. You are laying face forward, and the dentist chair is behind you, and it like lifts you up, and dentist chair is removed, and then there is a new kind of table that is pushed up, in front of you, except it's a massage table kind of thing, where it's got that circle in
No
your
opening cut
face.
out. Mhm.
Yeah. And then so you get flipped over like a pancake, and he's like, all right, well, good night. And he flips the thing on behind your ear. And you are out. And then he goes over and gets some tools and starts going over by your working on your back. And Greg, Sarndell, Mina, kind of keep yourselves preoccupied while he's doing this. And he's just going through, opens up the back where the battery pack, kind of is using his palm to kind of go over it and do kind of like a blueprint X-ray scan of it from all different sides. He tries to find out how to pull it out, insert it, all that other stuff. He puts in the spare one, the more expensive one, for like backup or whatever. And about 45 minutes passes, and then he's starting to put everything away. He starts putting his putting all the layers and everything on your back together. And as he puts the skin flap together, you can kind of see it kind of mend itself together. And they go behind your ear and flick it back on, and you start to, ow, Charlie, get going, go, fucking A, that was my toe. You start to wake up like you had a really almost drug-induced nap. It was a heavy nap. The universe is like, see, all better, all good. Other battery is in there. You guys can go on out. Wait, no, you don't want to go out that way. You want to go out the slow way.
Uh-huh.
All right.
But Mina wants to go out that way.
Yes. Well, you have to go out your way first, and then I'll send out Mina. So, and he walks you over to this other door on the other side of the tube. He opens the door, and it's kind of dark, like a closet. Like, go in, go on. Greg's like, where is this? Just go. And kind of like, okay, let's go. Walks in. And you see Greg kind of go in, and it's deeper than the other one. It's, Greg's silhouette kind of disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on, you coming?
Yep.
And you follow suit, and Crunk?
I kind of wanted to go out with Mina, but
Fancy way.
Do what?
He wants to go out the fancy way.
Fancy way. Well, whatever. Do you want to split the party? Go for it. Universe kind of shuts the door behind Sir Nell. And as you're walking, Sarndell, you kind of feel like, it's this dark hallway. And then you're just walking and walking. You hear Greg in front of you, the footsteps and the breathing. You don't hear anything for a while, and then probably 15 feet ahead of you, you hear some semblance of noise, some sounds, and you hear flushing, flushing,
Flushing?
and flushing.
like
And-
a toilet.
Yeah, and then you hear this thunk. Oh shit! Greg kind of hit his face on a wall. He's like,
Erp.
God damn it! Shakes his head, kind of feels around. You hear his fingers going across something that feels kind of wood-ish, and he finds the doorknob. You hear it rattle, and he opens it. And there's mops, and there's brooms, and there's buckets, and there's cloth and clothing and all kinds of stuff. And kind of go in. It's just janitor closet. It's like, oh well, I guess that's one way.
Uh-huh.
So he shuts the door behind you, and there's another closet or another door on the other side. Once the door is closed behind you, you notice that there's almost no seam to it, and there's definitely no doorknob on the other side. So you cannot go back that way.
Derp. Boy,
Um,
this guy is paranoid.
huh?
Boy, this guy is paranoid.
Very, apparently. And then Greg's like, "Shh, shh, shh, wait, we don't need anyone to know that we came through here, especially when it's the two of us." Um, and then you hear like the bathroom. It sounds like it's empty, so he opens the door and kind of scoots out, checking to make sure nobody noticed he came out, and then goes over and actually uses a stall. It's like, I'll be.
That's it.
And you, what do you do?
I'm just gonna walk on out.
Okay. Walk out and probably close the door behind you.
Yep.
And just as you do, a gentleman comes in. He's like, oh, nods his head, hello. Suit and tie, normal, goes into another stall.
Yep. Cool.
What do you do? Do you wait for Greg or do you kind of go looking out to see where this bathroom is?
Yeah, I go see if the street where the sewer is nearby.
Okay. You come out and there are people walking past. There is a big old shuttle in front of you. There are lights everywhere. There's directions. You're in a subway. You're underground and there is a subway, a train right in front of you. The doors are closing. People and it's starts shifting off and moving and chuk, 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 chuk. And people are just walking past.
All right.
You can kind of guess where you are because obviously subway is going to show you the streets, intersections above, and looking at a map, you probably notice that you are about 2 blocks down from where that police box was.
All right.
So, but of course, you're gonna have to find the exit from to the exit or entrance to that subway, which is probably not right there, and then get your way back.
Right.
After that, Universe kind of escorts Kronk and Mina over to the other side. There you go. He opens the door. In you go. Mina's like, yay! She goes right in. The Universe closes the door one at a time. And it gets all pressurized. Woo, I can't wait. And whoosh, she's up and out.
Boom.
And of course, 24 hours, the manhole cover has been replaced and she's the first one out. And whoop, she kind of lands and is like, yay! He's like, all right. And opens the door and Kronk, your turn.
I step inside, kind of giving him a second glance, like, oh dear Lord, what have I done?
He shuts the door and the pressure starts to build and build around you. You can feel it getting a little intense on your skin, but it's not actually messing with your breathing too much. You're still able to inhale and exhale, but you assume that's probably because your abdomen is no longer made of flesh. And it gets pressurized more and more, and then all of a sudden, you launch up forward, go all the way up, and your head is in front of you going who knows how fast. And then you see the light, and it comes out, and roll a dexterity check to see if you land on your feet.
I rolled a 12.
You did fine. You landed just fine. You were just because you didn't have a negative on your constitution, so you were fine. All right, so you're there. Mina's there. She's like, "Yay! Wasn't that fun? I want to go again." And she turns around to go down the street, and there's no box. There's no police box. She's like, damn it.
Remember once a day.
Man. She kind of stomps her feet. Pooh.
I don't know if he'd let you go more than once a day.
You what?
I said, I don't know if he would let you go more than once a day. Maybe we can ask him next time we see him.
Maybe. That'd be fun. At this time, Greg is done doing his business and he comes out and meets you. Oh, well, that's okay. Interesting. Shall we go?
Yeah.
All right. So, for brevity's sake, since it's 1 o'clock,
Oh, Jesus, is that late?
it is really 1 o'clock over here already. 11 o'clock over there.
Where you are.
Yeah.
I think we'll end it there. We'll just go ahead and assume that everyone convenes back at the tavern. And we'll pick up from there and figure out what you guys are going to do next.
Okay.
Cool. Do you guys want to continue doing every other week, or do we want to bump it up to every week since we missed a lot of time last month?
I'm good either way.
I would probably keep it every other week right now if I could.
Okay, that's perfectly fine. Then I will see you guys in 2 weeks.
Talkie.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.